Good morning, everybody, all you crazy psychos out there. We got a very special show for you here this morning. We are going to be discussing the new series by that sexy man, Jeff Thomson. Welcome to the City. Book 1, Epic Mayhem, is out now in paperback. You can go pick that up, and it will be getting audibleized soon enough, which I can't wait to hear how that's going to sound. Oh my God, it's going to be awesome. Good stuff.
I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
So without further ado, Mr. Jeffy, why don't you give us a little breakdown? Where did this idea come from?
Well, I've had the idea for a long time, and it stems from one very simple concept. You remember all those great action movies from the 80s?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
You know, the Schwarzenegger and name your action star.
Yep, Stallone.
Stallone
had the Indiana Jones action with Harrison Ford. I mean,
yeah,
good stuff.
Everywhere. Jean-Claude Van Damme and all of those guys.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm
not a fan.
Really, Jean-Claude, you're going to bring him in? Fuck, I'm off this show.
Bloodsport is a damn good movie.
Might as well throw Seagal in there while we're at it.
Oh, God.
Bloodsport is a damn good movie.
Where's your conductor hat and whistle?
The first couple of Seagal movies weren't bad. And the reason I think, even the bad ones, like I mentioned this at, I think it was on Padded Room probably, but Huey Ball, who used to do all those video game movies.
Yeah.
Not a big fan.
No.
Not even a little bit. But
not a little bit.
Like all those other guys, he never took it too seriously. All these movies were fun. I mean, you had Stallone firing off 20,000 rounds without ever running out of ammunition, hitting absolutely everything he aimed at. The people shooting at him couldn't hit Mount Everest.
Of course they could.
Grandparents of the stormtroopers.
Exactly. And then every now and then, for no apparent reason, something would blow up.
Mm-hmm. You got to have just an arbitrary explosion, just for no reason at all.
Several.
We're having trouble with a plot point here. Let's blow some shit up. All right, cool.
Yeah, there we go. That's a great idea. Run with that. It's
so
like the old shootout.
The idea was to create a universe that was all action movie all the time.
You did an amazing job.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, you did. Yeah,
full disclosure. How tiring it is?
Full disclosure for everybody that's kind of wondering how me and Jen and Dan know what we know. We've been getting the pleasure of keeping up with it in 5-chapter batches as they come out.
Yes.
And I'm telling you guys, y'all get your hands on this. Get your hands on this because it's going to be so good.
You've got to.
We're all chomping at the bit for the next 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, at least you're going to get it in one big book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm over here jonesing. Like I woke up this morning, there's another 5 set there, and it's like, ooh.
That's it. Like jump right in.
Yep. And well, for me, that was the basic idea. Just have fun with it.
Now, what made you go with having everything broken up into wards with a different gang kind of being in charge of each ward? That's just like Civil War just waiting to happen.
The Warriors.
Great movie.
The Warriors.
Absolutely.
Awesome movie. Completely ridiculous, of course.
I'll watch it for 5 minutes.
But just that idea that you had these street gangs that went to the trouble of actually wearing costumes.
I love it.
Like the baseball series in The Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
That was so awesome.
Well, honestly, it's not far off from real life. I mean, if you look at the gangs, the street gangs of, real life, they wear kind of a uniform. They have specific colors and specific sides that you can put things on, and specific pant leg sides. Your hat sits a specific way, and they have
your ass hangs out a certain amount.
Yes,
Yeah.
That's the big one.
But I mean, honestly, I don't see that being too far off from real life. You guys just took it a step further, and I absolutely love it.
I do too.
And that was the idea. To take ordinary life and crank it up to 11.
You did that.
Yeah, I'm gonna if I could find them, I would join the dominatrix gang.
Would you?
No.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'd be the
gimp. I'd be the gimp.
The gimp. Somehow that would fit you just perfect.
Walk around with a ball gag all day.
That would actually be great.
Yeah, you'd be quiet for a while.
I know.
Think we just solved a plot hole in the book.
I should do that with Heather.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, that brings up my question.
Huh?
At what point did you decide you're going to start killing real folks? I mean, folks from the real world in your fictitious world.
It just,
Yeah, clarify.
Yeah, oh my God, that could have gone so bad. You outed him, dry snitch.
Yes, thus far I have killed 32.
Wow.
32 readers.
And the hilarious part about it all is all you got to do is simply say, "Hey, you want to die in a book?" Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and it's like,
everybody jumps
jumping
in.
at the bit.
Oh,
Yes.
but the funniest bit is most of the volunteers are women.
Yes.
Women want to die, not just die violently,
Die horribly.
And you did one in the most recent batch that you set out to us that was just so good. I mean, just no spoiler here, but trust me, it's like, okay, now this is kind of depressing, but I literally saw something like what you described in there as a kid when I was on a school bus and a puppy ran out in the road. It was, it brought back memories. It brought back memories.
Thanks, Jack, for bringing the animals in.
We don't kill the dogs.
No, never kill the dog. I have yet to kill a single animal.
Good job.
I don't care about people. You can kill all the people you want. As a matter of fact, I know that I've requested specific people to die in your books.
And were you satisfied?
I don't know yet. I have not read the last this most
you're
recent.
way behind.
I am way behind. I am way behind. So I've only read, the first 2 books in total. 2? 1?
She doesn't even know where she's at.
I don't even know where I'm at now.
Chunks. The first 2 chunks.
Right. These last 2 batches I have missed. So I have not been able to, I wasn't able to keep up, for traveling cross country. It's been rough. But I'm definitely, between today and tomorrow, I'm definitely going to get some reading in. So I will be caught up, and I cannot wait to see what you have done to my most recent 2 requests.
You're gonna be quite satisfied.
Oh, I'm so excited. You have no idea.
Oh my God, Jen, am I on your death list?
You're not.
Well, I know I'm on Jeff's, but I'm on
You're not,
Jen
not today. But
last night, Dan,
Uh-oh.
I figured out how I'm gonna kill you.
I really was hoping you're gonna make me like an evil asshole, and I got like half of a book to stay alive, but apparently I'm gonna really go out well.
And you're still what many would consider an evil asshole.
Thank you.
I mean, you don't need a book for that.
Yeah, no. Just talk about flat Earth, and I jump right in.
but as to your question, the reason I decided to do it is it fits so well. Unlike any other plot device, I suppose, in this particular universe, it makes perfect sense to stop in mid-story and kill somebody for no apparent reason.
Random.
Yes. Everything's random. I mean, it's such a great story, and because it kind of reminds me of I didn't watch this all the way through, Sin City, which
Sin
I'm
City.
sure you're surprised.
It reminds me of that too.
It reminds me a lot of Sin City, and if it were to become a movie, that's what I would envision it being, or Scanner Darkly, or whatever the heck that Keanu Reeves one was, which I did watch all the way through.
Well, and that was the idea.
And you did a great job. You encompassed it. Your writing is just amazing, and I cannot wait to actually have this book physically in my paws.
Me too. Because I'm gonna go ahead and read the whole.
I'm gonna
thing.
reread it. Yep, I'm definitely rereading it because I definitely like being the beta and being able to read ahead of time and see where you're at and stuff. But I want to be able to sit down and actually soak in, because right now I'm looking for specific plot holes and where do we need to fill in, which you're doing an amazing job, and I can't really even give you any, not that I'm like know what I'm doing, but I really can't even give you any, hey, what about this, because I know eventually it's going to get answered or you have answered it already, and you do a really good job at tying up loose ends.
Well, you guys affected the end of the last one.
Yeah, when we had that conversation about yes. Yeah, sorry, you're not getting spoilers. You want to know what it was? You got to read the book.
More violence.
Yes.
That's all it was.
It's a lot of violence, and the beginning of the second book.
Well, now what we were all private chatting about yesterday, the last batch, it's beginning.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, and this isn't a normal zombie book. You definitely are able to branch out and go beyond zombies. You're not just, it's definitely still horror. It's definitely still action thriller. I love that you have that versatile ability to go between. Yeah, I just got done. Pardon me. I just got done doing a zombie book, but we're going to switch this up and we're going to go over here to thriller and mystery and mayhem and
comedy.
And comedy.
Well, it wasn't that I just finished a zombie book. It was that I just finished 9 zombie books.
Yeah, and sometimes you just gotta take a break. You gotta relax, and let's do something different.
Believe it or not, there's more to life than zombies.
Yes, there is.
Take that back right now.
Ooh.
Those are fighting words, man.
Getting on Dan's bad side. He's the
Dan's
zombie
coming
guy.
to get you.
They're slashers.
There you go. I like them too.
I like that cup.
That's a cool cup.
Is there a gang? We're gonna get a gang called the Slashers?
Ooh.
That's a pretty good name.
And they're all dressed up. Well, with the time frame of it though, was it 1947?
1947.
Yeah, it'd be kind of hard to maybe Jack the Ripper style gang or something along those lines, maybe. But Jason, Freddy, none of them would even been thought of at that point.
No. Although I may do a story later that takes place in Haddonfield.
Really?
Haddonfield, Illinois.
It's a real place.
Yeah. The city is based on this map I have right there of Chicago circa 1936.
Wow.
That was the one thing that I had to keep reminding myself early on is this isn't set in modern day, so there's no cell phones, there's none of that, and then you got Big Bobo, the bouncer at the bar and everything, it's like, old school in a great way.
So who, you want to talk about your main characters at all?
Well, there's 2 of them right here.
Yeah. 2 big ones here.
Yeah.
Did
one
you
of
just
them
call me fat?
Oh.
Ooh.
Now them's fighting words.
Yeah, I do that all the time to everybody. Ask Jason about it. It's the most random stuff. And he's like, no, what are you talking about?
That poor guy.
Yeah. That
Well,
poor
he's
guy,
surviving
right?
it.
I
Yeah, now
don't know.
one of those main characters may or may not be something of a pain in the ass, but I won't say which one.
That would be you, Jack.
Well, okay, fine. Spoiler alert.
Hey, well, as long as
I don't
he's the
think it
one
was
that
a
does
spoiler alert.
No, just for the one or two people out there who don't already know this, Jen and Jack are both main characters.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Was-
good.
Was your other Horatio? Was
Mhm.
your other main character based off of anybody?
Not really.
No.
Just made him up.
Just the guy.
Damn
He's
good
going to be the
job.
only one that lives.
Yeah.
The fictional character is going to make it. Nobody else.
Kill them all.
Let God sort them out.
Well, he's got the right name for that time period. You know, Horatio Nightingale. That
Yeah.
he just feels like a private detective. It just screams it. So, I mean, you could.
Screams cop.
Where did you get the name from? Was it just something random or just?
No, it's the combination of two nicknames that my cousin and I have had for each other for most of our lives.
That's funny.
She is a trauma nurse and has been all her life. So I always called her Florence Nightingale. I, for a lot of years, was a sailor, so she would call me Horatio Hornblower.
It
So I
makes
just put them
sense.
together, Horatio Nightingale.
That was excellent.
That was very much
That's
so.
Excellent. But I am a little disappointed. I was hoping you were going to be Nightingale and she would be Horatio.
That would have been great.
Yeah.
See, every time I hear Horatio, I think Horatio Kane from that crime TV show.
Mm.
I don't remember which one.
Since I was former Navy Horatio Hornblower, that's the first thing I think of too.
That's funny.
We're like-minded. This ocean boys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, that's one of my phobias that is just absolutely unrealistic. I'm afraid of water. I can't see the bottom.
That's me.
Oh, but
Take it-
wait. See, the beauty of this, and the biggest reason I wanted to do this is that once the universe is created and I've set the rules in place, which I should be done by, more or less, by the end of the third book. Should have all the rules in place.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, I can tell damn near any story I want to.
Oh, you got a great setup.
Yes, you do, man.
Yeah.
And you can literally in that world, everything's possible.
Everything is possible.
Everything. I keep waiting for dragons and warlocks and imps and just everything.
I'm sure those are coming.
Yeah.
That would be in the Peculiar Tales.
Hey, here we go.
I've
Which
already
is-
got one spin-off.
Which is next, yeah?
I've got one spin-off.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's next. I do have one that would take place on a cruise ship. And I think I would be delighted to drag Jen's character.
Oh, with her being afraid of water too. Oh,
That would be good.
That's, I will tell you, that's where I kind of related to a character that Scott Baker had wrote, Tatiana, in this last book. She was
She
like,
has the same
I don't want to
fear.
go out in the water. I'm going, I feel you, sister. Yeah,
it would
that's-
only be appropriate if at some point Jen gets knocked over the rail of the
Oh,
ship
God.
and is hanging on for dear life. You
That's
know,
and I would never go near the edge. That's the thing. I'd be flat up against the walls. There'd be no
I'll
way.
tell you what, if Jen did flip over and was hanging on for life, that's when you can get anything you want from her.
I'll do whatever.
Hey,
just pull me
you know
back
those
up.
pull me back
autograph
up.
books from Jeff you got? Those are mine if I pull you up, right?
Oh,
She'd be like,
even-
yeah.
Even better. She's hanging off the side of the rail, and she's waiting for Horatio or whoever to come and pull her back over, and it's just my face that looks over the edge at her and starts waving.
I've been wanting to shoot you for a long time.
And in this, basically all I've done with their two characters is I took their basic personalities and cranked them both up to 11.
Did you?
And
Yeah, I don't know with Jen. I
don't know.
Right
I think,
about on par right there.
Yeah, you got her pretty even right now. This from what I hear from Jason and other folks, this is the mild version of Jen.
You guys do get the very mild.
But for those of you that don't know her, you're like, damn, she's harsh.
Well, yeah, but to my knowledge, she's never actually, shot people just for the hell of it.
To your knowledge.
To
She's
my
already
knowledge.
looking guilty.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I bet that not only can she fill out that paperwork quickly, she doesn't need the paperwork. She just already knows what to write down on blank paper.
Damn straight.
For discharging her weapon. So I don't need the form. Here it is.
Got excuses.
And Jack is an author's dream.
That sounds a little wrong.
I'm still processing that. Hang on.
The one thing that every story needs, doesn't matter what the subject matter is, doesn't matter what the genre is, every story needs compelling characters.
Mm-hmm.
Jack is a good one.
Oh, Jack is pure character.
Now, I guess if I were going to make a comparison, just kind of what I think of when I think of how you've written me in there would be Trip from Mark Tufo's books. The hippie stoner guy. He's not really there contributing in any real way, but he's just kind of there, and you never know what he's going to do, what he's going to say, what kind of weird situation he's going to put himself in, and then have to get bailed out.
I don't know. I think you've contributed a thing or two to Horatio and Jen.
Oh yeah,
mild spoiler. The scene where I'm on top of the car.
Yeah.
And I'm hanging on. I laughed out loud at that.
Yes.
Like I literally
that
laughed out loud at that.
I have to say thank you, Jack. I've been paranoid that I'm going to be the one that slips out a spoiler, and Jack did it for me.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's a very small one. Very, very small one.
It is a small. I would.
Well, I think everybody already knows that Jack starts the book dead.
Very dead.
Very dead.
Don't get started, because Jack's the character I would just go off on right now. I mean, he's one of my favorites in the book because the fucker just never goes away.
Oh no, he doesn't.
And that's a good thing.
And for a long time, my character has been wanting to shoot him.
And did in fact
and it's brought up a lot.
Did in fact shoot him. It didn't do any good.
No.
See, you guys are just laying it out.
Spoiler alert.
Might as well, you know what? We're going to change the format of the show. This is a spoiler show. Fuck yeah. Page 1, chapter 1.
I'm just going to read the book to you.
We're not giving anything away, though.
No plot.
Nothing major.
Even if you did, his character, and by the way, we're all into beta reading book 2 so far.
Yeah.
His character is a staple, and it just helps keep
it
helps keep everything moving.
Yes.
And it's kind of a nice break because this is a really fast-paced book. I mean, if I was living in this time, Jen and Horatio would be looking back at my, exploding heart on the street because they don't stop.
Chick must be this big around. I'm just sitting here picturing a me version that's this big around because when is she? She's like never sitting down. And I get that. I have ADHD too, but
I've seen people jacked on crack that don't move
that
as much.
Don't move that much. Yes, yes. It's just it is nonstop. Yes, exactly. I agree.
You get tired reading it. I mean, you're literally going to have to take a break. And
I gotta go smoke a cigarette because I just sat here and read one chapter.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's the idea. The best action movies.
But you're doing an amazing job at getting it across.
It's blind. That's why it keeps it. This is what makes a page turner.
And that's
where
what
you just like, I gotta see next,
Yes.
Yeah,
And
there
that
is
is
no
what
stopping
I
point.
can't sit here and I can't like they said, I can't put it down, but I can't fathom attempting to get the anxiety across on paper where
Until
the
you're in it.
person who's reading it actually feels the anxiety. And as I'm reading this, I'm going, holy crap, my heart.
I know.
Explode.
I know.
I gotta calm down. I'm getting heart attack age, okay?
We get a batch, and that's the only reason we're talking now. You know, we get a batch, and then we're like, we spend 4 days sitting there going,
oh
what
my
the
God,
fuck
can
are
you
we going to
believe
get the
this?
next one?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you start rethinking everything you read, and then all of a sudden,
You start rethinking
ding,
life.
another batch. And you're like, I know I have to go to work, but fuck
Oh,
That's
yes.
every morning. Like if he sends it at some godforsaken hour of the night, which he has been known to do.
Yeah.
I wake up the next day and I see the little red dot and I go, oh. As soon as I get to work, I either make me a couple toaster waffles or whatever, and I'm sitting down. I got the phone up and I'm just sitting there eating and reading.
Right.
It's like, this is how you start the day right here.
It's amazing. You have created an amazing work of art, Jeff.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Well, I don't know.
I would.
But the idea, probably the best, one of the best, certainly, action movies ever made is the original Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Absolutely.
That movie is nonstop from the first scene to the last. It's nonstop.
Now I can see it now. I hadn't thought of this before, because this one it just goes and goes, and when it's like big epic bullshit happens, and then you think, okay, this is normally where an author is going to calm you down a bit. So our characters, like, we need information. We go here. Epic hits you right away. You're like, wait a minute. You're going to give me the drive of 4 blocks to calm my heart, and now you're going to fucking hammer me again? That's the pace all the way through the book. And it's awesome. I really enjoyed the city itself. Now, I didn't realize that you had this in a specific year. For me, it's like I kind of see not modern things, but more than the 40s modern. So I'm just all like, I'm not sure what the world is, but then again, he's bringing in some crazy shit that I wouldn't have expected in a detective story, basically.
Yeah,
and you got the old Roadmaster, and you got the old Roadmaster, and I mean the Tommy guns. I mean,
well, and that's exactly why I did it. It's the old hard-boiled detective. Pick your Humphrey Bogart movie.
Yeah.
The hard-boiled detective takes place in the 30s and the 40s. It's film noir. It's the hard-boiled detective. That's
and you got all that
set.
Yeah, and you mixed all that in. We got the hardcore detective Jen, her partner, who was partners with Jen's dad,
and who's mouthy back to Jen, who does not take her shit. I love it.
Well, he tends to lose a couple of those arguments, and that's fun.
But I think he just lets her win sometimes, because
Horatio, he's a different breed. Because for him, it's like, this is my partner's daughter who's following in the footsteps. So to him, you're probably still a kid, and he's just like, all right, she can have that one.
Yeah. What's the point in arguing with her?
Well, she's also a woman. What's the point in arguing?
Yeah. Whoa.
No.
This is why I'm single, Jen.
I see this.
I made a point right at the beginning to say Horatio changed her diapers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right.
That's how long they've known each other.
Yeah. So he's like super old hat. He's good old boy. Definitely good old boy. Which I found very interesting, since women in the 30s really weren't working anything more than diners waitress. And bank tellers,
laundry.
We were doing very domesticated jobs. We weren't in detective roles. That was left to the men, and I really appreciated and loved that you changed it up, because this is your city, and
well, the idea and the reason for setting it in 1947 was that it's 2 years after Second World War. So instead of everybody coming back and getting into the old lives they used to have, you had these millions of people who'd spent every day killing. Well, they come back from the war and they're still spending every day killing.
Now, I'll tell you something you do really, really well with this, and you also did it amazingly in the Guardians of the Apocalypse series. I can literally read and feel the environment, as in when you were describing something in the Guardian series, talking about how hot it was, and I could just feel the sweat. And now with this one, it's the total opposite. You can feel the cold and the wet and just the bitterness of it, on top of everything else that's going on.
Yeah,
and that really sucks you in. It just really sucks you in. You feel like you're there on the street with them. Now, you don't want to be on the street with them.
No, it's true.
But you feel like you're there.
Especially when you know you're still alive.
Yeah.
And it's coming. I saw what happened in that last batch to that one person. I wouldn't want to go that way. That was pretty grisly, man.
That one was. That's why I singled it out. I'm like, okay, did I go too far on this?
No, you can never go too far. But I sit back and I wonder just how much did this particular person piss Jeff off?
No doubt.
Angel. Yeah, he's one of them. I'm like, damn, dude. You went
that
there.
Stems from, I used to do this game in the group where I would put out a series of images. You choose which image, and based on choosing that image, something happens to you. It's a game.
Oh, okay.
And the first few times I did this, I kept sending Angel to hell just because I could.
An angel in hell. Here we go.
So when I started doing this, I couldn't just kill him once.
See, this is my whole point. Couldn't just have one. No, we're gonna spend 3 books with this. I don't know. I don't know what you got planned. I just know that Angel's got that ass end of it.
He really did, the poor guy.
He does.
I mean, I figured Jack was gonna get that, right there, first sentences.
Yeah.
And then Angel gets it. I'm like, oh, geez. This is hard to. I know to other folks are all like, Dan's off his rocker. I know things you don't, and I'm trying so hard not to spill it right now. It's so freaking epic. When you guys read this, you're gonna be sending Jeff all these messages. Oh my god, dude, would you do that to poor Angel?
Yeah, everybody should go back and then watch this after they've read it.
Yes,
and then be like, oh, now I know what they're talking about.
Yep, it'll all make sense.
It really will.
And I gotta say, it's been a really long time since I've been this excited about a book series, because a lot of them, once you get so many books in, it's just like, okay, next book, oh, it's great.
Yep.
But this one, I'm just like, with serious anticipation. Like, I mean, everybody knows the famous wall back here, and of course, this side of me is one of Jeff's books right now hanging. When that bad boy gets in my hands, it's going right up here, and it's going to be centered up here, because that cover is gorgeous.
According to Amazon, I should get the author's copies around the 2nd.
Nice. The great and powerful Zahn has spoken.
We shall see.
Well, that's the other half of that. We'll see what Amazon does.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, before the show's over, I got
to
bring up some Amazon stuff.
I'm pretty proud of Amazon. They have stopped the return of ebooks.
Yes,
that's what I was going to bring up. I think this is brilliant.
Yep. But I don't like that I think they should stop
it.
Yeah, I think they should stop it. Period. Instead of like, oh well, if you've read more than 10%, you can't return it. No, it shouldn't be at all.
No, because this is the one trap of independent publishing. Unfortunately, anybody can do it. not anybody can actually do it.
Yeah.
Do it well.
Yeah, there's a lot of abject crap out there.
Mm-hmm.
There is, and I've paid for some of it.
The prime example that everybody's aware of would be 50 Shades of Grey.
I never bothered to read that.
Mm-hmm.
I did.
It's
Really?
It's horrible. The writing is amateurish at best.
When I read
crazy about it.
When I read it, it was at the height of this book series coming out, and everybody was into it. I read it, and I'm sitting here thinking, okay, so I understand that there is this subculture that people are into, and I understand that it's kind of trying to open the door, but I really wonder if that person who, I don't even remember who wrote it, if she or he did their homework.
She.
And I just, to me, see, and I'm not into all that stuff. I loved the books at the time because I had no clue. But once I started talking to some of my friends about it, I was like, oh, this book is great. And my friend's like, yeah, 3/4 of that, 99% of it, not even true. And I'm just like, huh. So now I feel, I get it. It's a work of fiction. I get it.
It started out essentially as fan fiction.
Yeah.
Most of fan fiction, sorry if I'm bursting anybody's bubble here, most of fan fiction is masturbatory.
What?
Yeah.
It's masturbatory.
I gotta look that up.
You look at masturbatory.
No. That's exactly what we thought.
I was hoping.
I didn't even know we brought the train out today, but I just heard
I told you, get your hat.
We did. Well, guess what? 5 wheels. Boom.
Yeah.
We start beating off. The wheels are going.
Beating off. I see what you did there.
Wheels off. Words. I should be a writer.
You pick your TV show that people have done fan fiction for. Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Hey, I like that show.
Most of the fan fiction is erotica. Who's hooking up with who?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I see your point.
The people writing it are writing it because it gets their yayas out.
I never got any yayas from Buffy, but I did enjoy the show.
I'm not saying a word.
It was the makeup effects, man. I was all crazy about that part.
Yeah, I can't say a thing. I was much younger back then.
Is that why my stock in Kleenex and Jergens went up so well in that year? I thought it was just me personal, but you contributed.
You're welcome.
Thank you. That was a great vacation I took to downtown San Antonio.
But anyway, to get back to the original question.
What was the original
question? Did we have an original question?
I don't know where we are right now.
It had something to do with
returning books and such. Now, I'm not going to lie.
Returning books, yeah. So
I brought that up. That's right.
having a 10% buffer, because so much of independent publishing is crap. So there's so much crap out there, unfortunately. Having a 10% buffer, I can see that.
Yeah, because like I said, I actually returned an audio book one time.
More than 10%, no.
Okay, so I realize there always has to be something to keep people somewhat pleased. But for me, I'm not admitting to anything, especially when it comes to books. But when you have something digital, that can easily just be stripped of its rights, copied, put on your hard drive, and you can return your book. That's bullshit. Especially when you're only paying $2.99, $3.99, at the tops $4.99. I have bought a lot of books that were really crappy. They weren't well written, even though they were zombie. I'm like, okay, that was $2.99. I'm just not going to buy the author's next book right away.
That's my point.
I'll give that person a chance, but I've never agreed with that. Now, it's the same with Audible, but I was surprised and I'll make this quick. I had the Slow Burn series, and I had purchased several of them on Audible, and I used credits on several of them. And I realized that there was a new book out, and the only way I could get it was to buy the box set. So I called up Audible, hoping that maybe they'd just cut a few dollars off of it for me and make it cheaper. And when they realized that I already had all but the new one, they actually said, well, we'll go ahead and take all these back and give you credits for them. And then you just buy the box set. And I instantly felt guilty. I'm like, well, are you going to take that money away from the author? Because that's not fair. But I don't know. And we talked about it, and I wound up getting a bunch of credits. And I bought the box set, and then I got my new book. But going back there, I just don't agree with you can return a digital item so freely, because there's a lot of people that just, they'll fucking steal it, return it, buy their next thing you want to steal.
Yep.
Yeah, and I see, like the one that I returned, I don't even think I made it 3 chapters in. And what it was that got me, that led me to saying, okay, no, this isn't even staying on my library, it's gone, was it was just so dull. The writer wrote like he was an 8-year-old. It just was just terrible. I mean, I can't get but just a few chapters in before I'm like, no, it's got to go back. You know,
see, this is where the rating system should take over. I mean, if the book's not good, I'm going to give you a 2-star rating. If the book's great, you're going to get a 4 or 5-star rating.
Well, yeah, but unfortunately, there's a lot of assholes out there. Yeah, I've had a guy, presumably it's a guy, it could be a woman, I don't know, go through to every one of my books and leave a 1-star rating. No review, just a 1-star rating.
See, that's bullshit.
That's bunk.
And the worst part of it is that most likely it's an author. It's an author who feels that they're in competition with me, which is nonsense.
It's total nonsense. Absolutely.
Well, it's also
I don't compete. I don't compete with any other writer on Amazon. I don't.
I get it, but I see where that comes into play. That happens in the movie industry, even in makeup effects. You know, you go out to lunch and some guy that's threatened by you ruins your sculpture, and you have to start over. It's bullshit.
Which, you know, then you get cases like with Jennifer, for example, who's just got her first book done. She reached out to so many different authors, and every single one of them, as far as I know, were eager to help just so she could get this thing out there because they wanted to read it.
Yeah.
You know,
and fix your damn tenses.
I know. You're reading the first book that's already been given out. So I'm hoping that the second one I have either fixed, or you can tell me what you're talking about when I send you the book.
Well,
that's why I've been enjoying editing. Speaking of Angel, I've been enjoying editing his book, King Minos 3, after editing King Minos 2, because it's so neat to get to see him behind the scenes like that. But at the same time, you're going, you didn't spell that right. Trying to fix it and everything. That's why I keep picking at Jeff, even though he repeatedly tells me I don't care about the typos, I don't care about the punctuation, and I'll be like, found one boo-boo. And I'll send it to him. I don't need to know that.
How many do you find?
Not that many.
Not many.
So usually when I'm beta reading, I do the same thing. I just go line by line and misspelled, sentence not wrong, and then every once in a while, like, okay, plot's not lining up, and that's a fun thing because you're like, oh, I caught something big.
Now,
this is where that's why I think Doc Fried is so much better than me. She always finds plot problems before I can. She's like,
now,
damn it.
When you're doing a beta reading, this is something I've caught myself doing as I've been doing Angel's books, but I will literally have my finger up on the screen and I'm going word to word, letter to letter, versus when I just read, like if I had like a finished copy of something, I'm just reading it. I'm not, all up on it like this, where when I beta read or whatever, anything like that, man, I am intently looking at every little letter.
See, I'm reading, and when I'm doing this for Scott Baker, especially like when I was doing the Maria Doria, the last book,
I gotta check that out.
I'm so wrapped up in the damn story. I'm having to like backtrack. It's like, wait a minute, I'm totally not doing my job because I'm
Yeah,
so wrapped
I'm not
up in
just
what the fuck's
reading
going on.
this.
So I have to jump back a chapter and start over. But I always keep a piece of paper here, and it's just like, you know, okay, I'm on chapter this, I'm on page this, I'm on line this, and then I'll write the sentence out the way he did it and write the sentence out the way I think it should be. Not that I'm some scholar, trust me. And then I that's what I send back to him. It's usually a 2 or 3 page report. And then of course my favorite is when I can finally, if I can find a plot flaw, or he said, you know, the ship's leaving, the captain said we're leaving at this time, and then 2 chapters later there, you know, it's nighttime. I'm like, wait, you said you leave it in the morning in this chapter.
Yeah.
And now you got a nighttime scene. You might want to figure that one out.
Okay, see, I feel better now knowing that I'm not the only one who gets a little disappointed if I get through an entire section of something and don't find any mistakes, because it's just like either I missed something or
I feel the same way.
I didn't get to do anything. Darn.
And I take it really serious when somebody wants me to beta read. I'm like, hey, he's trusting me. I'm going to have to go through this, you know. So I'm pretty thorough.
It also depends on how the writer does it. You guys are seeing raw from me. That's what you got. You guys are seeing raw.
Now you're bragging because there's not a lot of mistakes. I'll have to reread something.
That's because I edit it as I go along.
Oh, okay.
And I'll spend 20 minutes writing 1 paragraph.
See, my impression is you're like this writing machine. You just start spitting it out. Because, you know, I'll get finished with a batch. I'm like, okay. And all of a sudden, 2 days later, I get 5 more chapters. I'm like, wait, did he sleep?
Exactly.
No.
Sometimes I don't think so.
Hey, another prime example of Jeff just being, like you said, a machine. He sends us a 5-chapter block out of book 1. And he's like, all right, that's going to be it. I may try to get a little more done later today or whatever. And it's like, all right, cool. It's not 20 minutes later. It seems like, ding. Okay, here's just for the shits and giggles of it. And then here comes another little batch. And I'm like, what the hell just happened here?
Right. Or you get that little message. Hey, you know, you're still reading like the last, let's say, 8 chapters of book 1. He's like, here's the first 2 batches of book 2. And I'm like, we're not done with the first book.
Yeah, we're still making our way through this. Come on now.
You're filming back to back here. You're going total Hobbit on me. But it's fun.
It is.
And, you know, and to be honest with you, when I'm reading through the Epic Mayhem, I'm not having to go for spelling mistakes and stuff. I'm actually getting to enjoy this story, but every once in a while something will confuse me, so I have to backtrack, and then I'll send him a message, which is usually coming back going, dude, if you went back a little farther. No, I'm just kidding. No, there's been a few little things, but pretty much I'm just pre-reading a book and loving it.
And to me, that's what a beta reader should do. Forget the editing, because the editing is always the last thing you do. You fix all the internal problems first. You make sure that the story flows. You polish everything, and then you get rid of all the error.
Right.
You know, the last time I had this much fun with anything literary, period, is when Richard Rose was getting his Wild-Eyed Southern Boys prequel narrated. So much like how you're sending us 5-chapter blocks, as the narrator would finish a chapter, he would send it to Richard, and I was tied to the same Dropbox with him. So we were getting them together, and so we would listen and, you know, try to catch little mistakes. And we caught quite a few, like double speak and like not doing voices for certain characters that specifically had to have certain voices. But he would send us a chapter, and you would think that me and Richard were 2 little schoolgirls. We would just be, we're so excited. He'd be texting me, oh, we just got another one. I go, I know, I just saw it. You know, it's like about to listen now.
I hate to be the party pooper, but I gotta go. My grandson just woke up. So
okay.
Yeah, gotta go be Nona.
Thanks for doing this, Jen.
Thank you for having me. Everybody enjoy and go buy the book. It's amazing.
Exactly.
Read the rest of it.
Yeah, I will.
Catch up,
I will.
get caught up. Read it to the kid.
Yeah, I can see that happening. He's gonna look at me like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't traumatize the child.
No, don't read it to the kid that's going to be the serial killer.
It's bad. Yeah, it's bad enough
Blueprint.
that he's got me for his grandma. So
Bye, Jen.
Bye, Jen.
Oh,
And
boy.
then there were 3.
And there were 3. It's testosterone time.
Yeah, buddy. But man, with just what you've done thus far to where we are at the moment in this second book with this most recent batch, I can't wait to see what happens in 3. We haven't even finished 2 yet, and I'm already anticipating 3.
I am too.
I mean, like, if we're seeing and experiencing this much, let's say, epic mayhem, just insanity, it could only get better from here, right?
You know, the funny thing is, the pace doesn't change.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so pick any book you all want. So you get to the end of that book, you're like, damn, that was a fun ride. And you know the next book's coming out and you get it. And, you know, it picks up, but it comes into, you're walking in.
Mm-hmm.
Epic Mayhem 1 and Body Count. I was expecting the same type of thing. I figured that's just the way you write books. No, picks up and starts running. You don't even get the slow jog. You're already running. And it's like, fuck.
Here we go.
I'm going to have heart problems.
Well, I mean, how can you call something Epic Mayhem?
Right, which is a great title.
It is.
And just ease into it. It doesn't fit.
Mm-mm. Well, see, and that's what we discussed in the beginning part of book 1, which obviously you had to set the scene and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But we were all like, okay, we could sure go for some of that epic mayhem right about now. And you're like, okay, you ready?
Yep.
Here we
Big
go.
scoop of it. Doom.
And
it
off and
just
running.
goes. So
well, that was my biggest concern with the first book, because there was so much that had to be explained. And explaining shit, exposition is the most boring thing in the world, but it's essential.
It's a necessary evil.
It's a necessary evil. So you gotta walk a tightrope and just get it exactly right.
Which I can't imagine is easy to do, because you're either going to cram too much in to get the ball rolling, or you're going to drag it out a little bit too much to where you can't tell the story because it's moving too quick.
Mm-hmm.
And this one was a really good transition. You walked a very thin line, but you were pouring the information we needed to know about the city, the gangs, the wards, the people above that. I mean, we don't know a lot about them, but I don't think we're supposed to at this point.
Nope.
At the same time that it's running and gunning and exploding, and then you throw in all the paranormal, mystical, freaking demons. You got all this shit going on, and you're like, how does this happen?
Now, on a more specific thing, his writing style, and I'll call it, there is a Thomson way. Like,
there is.
If you read the Guardians of the Apocalypse series, if you read Scream Bloody Cheerleader, you read Welcome to the City, he has a delivery and a way he words things. So I'm just telling you, if you're a fan of the other books that he has written, you're going to want this. You're absolutely going to want it, because he brings that charm, the way his characters interact with each other, the way the environments are explained. Like I said, with the temperature, you can feel the cold, you can feel the rain, you could feel Jen's frustration and wanting to shoot me. I mean, you could just, it's all so
it's
well
all right
done
there. And you're right. There is a style, because for me, between Horatio and Jen reminded me a lot of Jonesy and
Duke.
Thank you. I had to sit there and think about it. It's almost the same type of thing. They're equals. Well, not in rank, but I mean they're two guys and they're fighting zombies and they're always throwing shit at each other. So I can see that style. And by the way, Guardians of the Apocalypse, you have any idea how hard it is to write something that's truly terrifying about ships? I mean, there's been a lot of attempts, and so far, Scott Baker has short stories that were good, and then I ran across Jeff's Guardians of the Apocalypse, and in book 1, the fight to regain control of the SAS was terrifying. You know, you're in the water. There's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
And you got zombies all over. And you have, like, if you're locked in a compartment and you don't have any of the crucial type of weapons, you got a box of dry goods. How the fuck do you get out, fight your way to somewhere to get a weapon, much less other survivors? So we don't have that type of thing going on in Epic Mayhem, but we have a shitload of weapons.
It's like every time they turn a corner, it's more dangerous. Just every
gang could win World War III against any country with the fucking armament they have.
Yeah, sprinkle in a demon for good measure, and
right.
Because I mean, to kind of use Jeff's own wording here, there's a demon. Well, of course there is. Why wouldn't there be?
Why wouldn't there be?
Yeah.
It's the city. You know, pretty soon we're gonna find out they have a gang too.
I hadn't come up with that yet, but
feel free.
Yeah, have at it.
Yeah, Epic Mayhem it's a mix of everything. It's the best breed, and I'm definitely waiting for the audio because I'm driving around for work all the time.
I'm looking forward to what Matt's gonna do with it.
Yeah, when you texted us the other day and said that he had agreed to do it, I did a happy dance because I couldn't hear any other voice doing that book other than him.
See, that's the problem. That's like a Mark Tufo book. You have to have Sean Renette.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, it's the same thing because.
Well, he did such a phenomenal job with Scream Bloody Cheerleader.
That was laugh out loud hysterical.
He
that
did.
Was it was I like
he
that
did.
one.
So what I told him was that Epic Mayhem falls roughly in between Guardians of the Apocalypse and Scream Bloody Cheerleader. It's somewhere in between there.
It's a whole new world. Anybody watching this that has not read or listened to Scream Bloody Cheerleader,
get it?
Yeah.
If you're a fan of like Airplane, The Naked Gun, Scary Movie, anything like that,
it's a horror comedy.
You got to get it.
And it was really good for me because I've been on sets before, and I'm like, half of this shit really goes on between crew and all this.
Yeah, building up to what was supposed to be a sex scene was one of my favorite parts of the whole deal.
The lesbian scene that never ever happens. Jeff would bring us right up to it, and then boom,
nothing.
You're just all like, damn it.
And you're even describing that the film crew is like packed up to the window, and they're like crawling over each other trying to look. For it.
Even when they call it closed set, they're all like finding places.
That actually stems from a comment Quentin Tarantino made to Robert Rodriguez when they were making what was that
the Grindhouse movies?
Grindhouse movies.
Yeah. What was that? Death Proof and
Planet Terror.
I love Planet Terror.
He said Tarantino told him that these types of movies, these Grindhouse movies, you should always feel like a lesbian sex scene is going to break out at any moment.
I think he pretty much nailed that up. That's Grindhouse. That's what you go to that movie theater at 10 o'clock at night for. Fucking blood, guts, titties, and lesbian sex.
Yep.
God, I miss those days.
Right.
I haven't thrown any sex into Epic Mayhem yet.
I don't know if it needs it, but
it doesn't. It really doesn't.
It'll probably be Jack and that other
I was
chick.
going to say that was exactly where I was about to go. I said it would wind up being us, and at that point, it
would be unusual. Without giving spoilers, it would be unique and probably funny as fuck.
And it would only have to end with Horatio and Jen walking in. Just the sheer look on their face would be just classic.
No, I'll get a better way to do it. Because I am about to give them a house.
Yes, I remember.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I am about to give them a house.
I think you have to, or Jen's going to go nuts. The character, Jen.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Horatio too, I guess.
I mean, just put yourself in that poor guy's shoes, though. You're in the shower, you're trying to wash the awfulness of the day off of you, and all of a sudden my head pops in. Like.
Yep. And of course, in the beginning of the first book, Horatio's car gets shot up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So he now has to get a new car. So I'm going to send him to Fast Eddie's Army Surplus.
Nice.
Okay.
That's got a lot of possibility.
Yes, it does.
The old crazy coot, they were going to take him back into the back room and uncover some massive killing machine. Love it, Jeff.
Heck yeah.
God, I hope my character's not dead before then. I'm not even a character yet, but
Now, you always have been a character, just in the real
true.
world.
That's my charm.
But
Well, guys,
anyway, that takes us to an hour.
yes,
Damn.
it does. And like I said,
Could go longer.
I am so ready to get back into this thing. Absolutely, just dying for the next batch. And I figure the longer me and Dan are sitting here looking at that sexy face means he ain't writing.
Nope.
Well, I knocked out 3 more chapters this morning.
Right on.
And killed 2 more readers.
And I do believe you have at least one sale for sure. That one friend from work, Ginger Pedigo, she was in the office the other day and she's like, okay, now what was the full name of that book again? And she had her Amazon up. So yeah, she's definitely heading out to get that for her and her husband. That way she could be like, look, haha, I'm in a book. I'm dead, but I'm in here.
Yeah, it was ugly.
Yeah, speaking of which, my Death List 2, I still have, let me check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 slots available.
I vote for Resurrection.
I will be killing 25 readers in this book, 27 actually with the special request Jen gave me, but 25 readers from the group, and I still need 6 to fill out that 25. I have 19. I need 6 more people to volunteer to die horribly.
I find it funny that the body count we're all paying attention to is the readers. Because in this book, there's about 1,000 people around them getting whacked too. And they're descriptive deaths. I'm just like, jeez. Jeff's boasting, I killed 20 people in book 1. I'm like, you killed fucking 5,000, dude.
Yes.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
you don't count collateral.
Having
collateral damage
involving the readers, killing off the readers is
right.
It's kind of a time-honored tradition. And I think most authors have done it at this level. I mean, I don't think Stephen King's out there doing it, but
no.
At this level anyway, it's kind of what we do. So I just decided to take it to the nth degree.
Hence, Epic Mayhem.
I killed 20 in the first one. My goal is 25 in this one, and 30 in the third one.
Nice.
Absolutely.
That's a lot of readers and writers.
A lot of pointless death.
Yeah, we need a lot of that. This is great.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we get out of here, Jeff, tell everybody where they can find all of this stuff.
Amazon.com. Just do my name, Jeff Thomson. Make sure you spell the last name right.
No P.
No P. It's there. It's available for pre-order. It's available on paperback now. It comes out officially on the 30th.
I got my pre-order in for Kindle.
And Body Count, Epic Mayhem 2, I've slated for Halloween.
Nice.
Right on. Perfect timing.
Yeah.
So.
Good deal. All right. Well, guys, I am about to go get me some lunch because my little skinny butt is hungry, and I'm going to come back and probably watch the Titans lose a third straight game. But tighten up anyway.
Well, thanks for having me on the show. This is
thanks
awesome.
for doing this, guys. I really appreciate it.
No
now
worries.
Let's just get out there, keep getting the word out. Epic Mayhem needs to be a bestseller. Let's rock and roll this thing. All right, guys. Well, I am out.
I like the way you're thinking.
See, not everything that goes through this head is totally bad. Just a lot.
Filter sort of works
a little bit.
Kind
Might need to be cleaned. I don't know. It probably hadn't been changed in 47 years.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell Matt to listen to you before he records his version of Epic Mayhem.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to see what he does with my goofy half Southern, half, I don't know what you'd call it, voice.
It's going to be unique.
That's how I live my life. But guys, I'm out of here. I'll be seeing y'all soon.
Take it easy. Thank you much, folks.
Take care.